so yummy. Hello, TikTok. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. Let some people hop on here. Hello, hello, welcome. Say hello if you're just joining, where you're coming in from. And of course, as always, if you have, hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. If you're just joining, say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. Be sure to put your questions in the question box. What does it look like on your side? We were trying to figure that out because we've been saying the Q&A box, but that's not what it looks like to you guys. It looks like a question. A question mark. Put it in the question mark box. Hello, where's everybody coming from? Say hello. Drinking some ginger tea. Ginger water, lemon, and honey. It's delicious. Hello, hello, welcome. As soon as we start getting some questions, we'll begin. So say hello. If you're new here, I'm Laurie Marie. I am here to serve you. So if you have any questions or needing clarity on anything going on in your life, know that I'm here and I am available to you. I am a psychic medium as well as an empath. I also channel. So I trust that anything that's meant to be shared tonight is for you. Whatever doesn't resonate, leave the rest and take what you will. Take what you will and leave the rest. How about that? Hello, hello. Say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you have questions or there's something you want some clarity around, please be sure to put your question in the little box with the question mark. And then I'll try and get as many in as I can. Sometimes hello, Texas. How's it going? Hello. Funny enough, we just got snow here in Joshua Tree, just a tiny bit, and we're supposed to get some more. Nothing like what you guys got though. Say hello, welcome. Let's see. Hello, hello, Fruit Gummy. I like your name. Okay, Kane says, can you do me a reading? Is there anything specific you want to know about or just in general? Or let me know if you have anything specific. Hello, Wonder Woman. Hello, Anita, Lucy. Welcome, welcome everyone. If you're just joining, thank you for being here. Say hello. Let me know where you're coming in from. Kane, if you want to let me know if you want to know something specific or if you want just a general reading, let me know. You miss me in Wisconsin. Oh, thank you. Do I know you, Wonder Woman? I do love Wisconsin. However, I do not miss the cold. Is there anyone watching over me? Yes, of course. Here's the thing about that. So, there's always spirit. You have your spirit guide. You can think of it as like your spirit team. There's also ancestors who have passed, loved ones who have passed that are there with you. There are spirit guides that come in as well as out of your life, like throughout your life at different time periods. There are ones that stay with you forever. And sometimes spirit guides can also be animals. So yes, you absolutely have a whole team of people, of beings, angels, ascending masters, spirits, ancestors. They're watching over you, with you always. And here's the thing, we have to be willing to call on them, ask for help. If we are kind of roaming the earth and never ask for any help, it's not that they're not there, but they can only do what you are allowing, because you are human, you have free will, and you get to decide how it goes. So if you want their help, call on them. Ask them for help. Let's see. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Oops. I already answered that one. If you have questions, be sure to put them in the little Q box. Let's see. Mandy asks, will my ex reach out? Will try and reach out soon. Oh, Mandy girl. The first thing that comes to me is like, let it go. Like, let it go, and meaning like, let go of that connection, like cut the cord. I feel like there's a lot of kind of like harmful and toxic kind of things at work there, like patterns that are playing out. And so I think it's important to just cut that cord, cut the energy, and allow yourself to move on and to, kind of take inventory, like look at what was good in the relationship, what wasn't so great, what did you learn from it, what can you take forward. And that's not to say that, anytime we're in relationships, it's important to look at what were the lessons that we learned, what were the things that we can take forward into the next relationship that would better serve us, right? It's to help us get really clear on what we're desiring, what we're wanting in partnership, in partnership, in relationships. So allow that to be your kind of, allow the relationships and the things that you have kind of experienced before to be your kind of guidelines, if you will, or kind of not to go into relationships to compare the next person to your ex, because that's never a good idea. You have to remember to meet people where they are, know that people can actually change if they choose to. And it's important to remember that this is a completely new soul with completely new background, completely new experiences, completely new everything. And so it's important not to carry the heavy baggage of past relationships into your new relationship. What you're meant to do is look at, kind of learn from, and then release and heal those things that weren't so great, and to pour into yourself so you feel like a energetic match for the person, and you are an energetic match for the person you want to call in. So in this case, as difficult as it can be sometimes, this is a case where I'm really feeling strongly that you're meant to just cut the cord and continue on your journey. Like, walk away. Take what you learned from it. Look at the gifts. Bless the good stuff, right? And then allow it to be what it was. And know that for the next kind of part in your journey, you're to look at the things that were maybe not as favorable, and then to come into the next relationship feeling, having a stronger sense of who you are. Sometimes what happens in relationships, we kind of lose ourselves and we kind of go all in, or we're so guarded that we don't let anybody in. So it's important to take a look at and just notice, like, how do you show up in relationships, and what can you do to fill and pour into you to help you feel like, okay, I'm solid in who I am. I'm confident in who I am. I trust myself, because in relationships especially, trust of yourself is even more important than the other person, because it's important for you to be able to trust and know that you can discern if this is a relationship that is of service to you. It's also for you to trust that you can walk away if you decide this is not a relationship for you. So building your trust within yourself is one of the biggest assets and benefits you can bring to any relationship. So I hope that helps. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Evangelina, I think, is that right? I hope that's right. I see 11:11 a.m. p.m. all the time for years. Why? So 11:11 is a sign of like your spiritual awakening. It's also kind of a number that kind of you may see often, and that is kind of also Spirit's way of saying like pay attention. I have a feeling for you specifically, it's like you're kind of beginning your spiritual awakening journey, which for anyone who doesn't know what that is, you kind of get to this point where you start to wake up to your life and who you are as a soul. And it's this journey that you go on to kind of look at, heal, let go of, shed all the layers of conditioning, patterns, stories, beliefs, all these things that you have kind of, all these coats you've kind of put on over the years based on what other people think, other people's opinions, other people's expectations, just society, like all these things. And you start to dismantle and kind of peel back all the layers, and you kind of start looking at the ways that, you know, operating from these places have not served you. And then you start to let that go, and you start to heal, and you start to really come to discover who you really are, which is a powerful, magical being that gets to choose how you want to perceive things, that gets to choose how you want to be in the world, that gets to choose how you serve and express in the world without the codependency and validation of other people. So it's really an initiation of your soul calling you forward to really discover who you actually are, not who you've been told you are or who people have made you out to believe that you are. It's a kind of a rebirth of you as a soul, and it's a beautiful journey. It's a challenging journey. And it's one that I specifically have been on for the last 8 years, so I know a lot about it. And it's also, oh, thank you for the love. And so it's a lot of times 11:11, when you start to see that, and especially it's coming up reoccurringly, it's kind of a sign that like, hey, you're starting to tune in and to connect to yourself, to spirit, and you're kind of starting to wake up to your awakening. So it's exciting. I'm not going to say it's not challenging, because it is. It requires you to look at and to heal things that you have kind of deemed unlovable, unworthy, not enough. Like it requires you to look at the parts of you that maybe you haven't wanted to look at, see, explore, etc., etc. But when you do, you come out of it free from all the things that have kind of weighed you down your whole life. And everything that didn't make sense before will make sense. And so it's a really powerful journey to be on. So, yay! Okay, let's see here. Let me see. I don't mean to laugh, but I kind of mean to laugh in that, like, yeah, definitely. I personally believe, oh, thank you for the love. I personally believe, Rose, that anxiety is kind of like a massive amount of energy kind of dispersing at a very quick amount of time. And as someone who's an empath, who is very highly sensitive, yes, I've definitely experienced anxiety, even panic attacks. And so I have a feeling that you may be very empathic too, meaning that you can feel and experience the emotions of others, and sometimes too, the energy that's kind of just being and living in your body is like so alive and activated that it causes that feeling of anxiety. And sometimes you're picking up on anxiety that isn't even yours. You're picking up on other people's anxiety. And so, no, there's several things you can do. I think one, it's important to move the energy whenever you're feeling anxious. Whatever feels good to you. So like dancing, jumping up and down, roller skating, whatever, like whatever way feels good to you to move your body, but to move the energy so it can help it kind of move through you too. Another thing you can do is lie down and practice breathing, doing some breath work. Deep inhale in through the nose, out through the mouth, just to calm your nervous system too, because I have a feeling what's happening is you're feeling a lot of energy at a really fast amount of speed or rate, and then it's like you don't know what to do with it, and then you're kind of preemptively feeling like, oh, I'm now having an anxiety attack, right? Or I'm now feeling really anxious, and then your body, your nervous system gets like overactivated on top of it. So it's like almost like it's like preemptive it's like your body is kind of going into that mode of like fight or flight or freeze, right? And so the more you can kind of calm your nervous system, whether that be through breathing or through just lying on the ground, holding your hand to your heart, holding your hand to your belly, one to your heart, one to your belly, and breathing and just calming yourself down, letting yourself know you're safe, letting you know that you're supported. That can really help kind of calm the nervous system. And then also, like I said, then once you're in a calmer state, then allow yourself to move the energy through like dance or movement, just so, as a way to kind of get it out. Or if you like to run or to, any way that you can move that energy is going to be really helpful to you as well. And then the other piece is really kind of paying attention to or getting to know your own energy and whether or not that feels, so you can discern whether or not it's yours. So you can really kind of pay attention to what's your energy, what's somebody else's energy, and if you're taking that on. So try some of those things. Another really great technique you can try is to bite on a lemon, because it's going to shift your mind from, oh, I'm having anxiety, to like, it's going to bring you really present. That's another really great quick technique you can do if you are having anxiety. So try some of those out. Let me know if that helps. Let me know, like what you tried, and just check in with me and let me know. But yes, I definitely have experienced that. And when you're highly sensitive, especially, it can feel very overwhelming and happen and come on very quickly. And so having some of these tools and some of these ways to kind of like recenter yourself and to kind of calm yourself down and let yourself know, like, I'm safe, I'm supported, I'm loved, I'm good, is going to go a long way in helping you to be able to move through that energy. So, and have compassion. That's the other piece. Have compassion. Never, ever, ever beat yourself up or put yourself down for having or experiencing your feelings. Okay, that's really important. That goes for anybody on the live tonight. It's so important to be kind, to have compassion, and to be gentle with yourself, because the more you fight your own self and your own feelings, like it just, that doesn't serve you, and it just sends you into a further spiral of, whatever it is you're experiencing, self-doubt, self-deprecation, whatever. So like, think of, a lot of times when we're really activated, it's like a call for help. And so think of how you would treat a little child that came to you. If they were 3 and they were like crying because they were like upset or frustrated, like, are you going to yell at them, or are you going to comfort them and love them? Like, do that for yourself. because there is an inner child within you that is dying for some attention and some love. So the kinder you can be with yourself, the better. Okay. That was funny. I feel like it was the kind of the beginning of a like a wedding song or something. Okay, the fact that you're asking tells me that your soul is wanting or desiring self-sufficiency. I think it's really powerful and empowering to know that you can do it yourself. And it's also okay to do it in partnership too. But I think it's more important to make sure that the partner you are, partnering up with feels like an equal to you, feels like there's an actual partnership, like that works for your relationship. If you're ever in a relationship where you feel less than, or it feels really imbalanced, like there's a problem there and there's something to be addressed. And I think in your case, this sense of independence and self-sufficiency is going to help you feel really powerful and confident in yourself. It's going to help you know that you can trust yourself and you've got your own back. And I feel like it's going to kind of elevate you to this new level of understanding of who you really are. Because I have a feeling like for a while you've maybe been dependent on other people. And so it's really never giving you a sense of like, oh yeah, I can depend on me. I am strong. I am powerful. I can do this. I don't, need anybody else. Like I can choose to be with someone else. And I think that's a really powerful place to be. Choosing someone versus feeling that desperate need to be with someone. There's a big difference and distinction there. Like I've been alone before and I'm actually good being alone, but I choose to be with my partner. Not because I need to, or I need a man, or I need anything from him, but I choose to be with him. And so it's very different to come from that place than to come from a place of, I need a man because I'm afraid to be alone, or I need a partner because I'm afraid to, whatever, right? Or I can't sustain my life for myself, So I feel like everybody should try it at least once. And here's the thing. If you want to get somewhere fast, you go it alone, right? There's this kind of, it's like if you want to get somewhere really quickly, go alone. If you want to enjoy the journey, go with others, right? So it's not to say that we don't need other people, because we do. We're humans, we're connected, we love, we want to have community and feel like we belong. And it's a powerful place to be when you can really say for yourself and decide for yourself, this is what I'm choosing. I'm choosing to connect with other people. I'm choosing to live with other people. I'm choosing a partner. I'm choosing, my life. And so I think a lot of times we fall into this kind of default destiny where we feel like, especially in some cultures and I feel like this is something very common in the Midwest as well, is we fall into these kind of default destinies where we feel like, we maybe saw or witnessed this like from our family or from other people, where it's like, you go to school, you get good grades, you go to college, you get a good job, then you find your partner, and then you get married, and then you have babies, and then that's it. You play that out until you die. And not everybody lives that way. And if you do live that way, there's nothing wrong with that. And know that there are other options, that you don't have to go into that kind of default destiny where that's kind of the script that's laid out for you. Because I can tell you, when you learn to really trust yourself and trust your intuition, and you listen to it and allow it to guide you, like, it's got some amazing plans that you don't even know. I always say, like, Spirit's got way cooler plans than I do. Like, if you would have asked me years ago if I would have done half the things I've done in the last, like, 6 years even, I would have been shocked. Like, I would not have believed it. But I trusted, and I followed where my intuition was guiding me. And so for you, I'm feeling like you're being asked to practice your independence and to be that Wonder Woman for yourself, and know that, the right partner will show up, because you're going to be so confident and so grounded in who you are that you become magnetic. And you don't have to go searching and finding someone, because they're going to be drawn to you like a moth to the flame. So it's really about you using this time to kind of explore your own, explore your own self. It's like a self-exploration journey. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, let's see. Do different times have different meanings? I don't know if... How do you say that? Is it Riku? I'm not sure what the question is. Can you ask again and let me know if you're still here? The question is, do different times have different meanings? And I'm not in... Oh, do you mean like time on the clock? Like number synchronicities? How about this? Like, because I'm not really sure what the question is. I'll be dropping a video soon about number synchronicities, so check that out. But otherwise, if you can be a little more specific about your question, just so I make sure I'm understanding it right, that would help. Let's see. Whoops. Sorry, honey. Here's the thing for people asking about mediumship. Currently, right now, I'm not feeling anybody. That's not to say I won't, but if someone is coming through, I will definitely let you know. When I feel it, it's usually pretty strong, so I'll let you know if someone's coming through. If it's someone you've lost recently, I personally kind of have a rule where I don't do mediumship for anyone who's lost somebody within the last 6 months, because I think it's really important for you to be able to grieve and to go through that process of letting go and kind of feeling your feelings. And so know that if it's someone who's recently passed, I just don't feel that that's for me, I don't feel like that's ethical. So if you've lost someone, know that my heart goes out to you, and I think it's important for you to feel what you're going through, so you can just go through the stages of grief, and then at the time, at the right time, they will come through and they will share, and know that they're still with you, and know that there are signs that they are around, and just start to notice things that are popping up, often. It could be songs, could be birds, it could be certain symbols, certain just things that you would understand and relate to, that are related to them as well. So I just wanted to mention that, because I see a couple people who have mentioned somebody had passed recently, and I just wanted to let you know, I just don't feel right about sharing when it's been so recent, because I think it's really important to be able to grieve. And that's just kind of like what I was taught, and that's kind of what I feel resonates. And so know that it's not because I don't love you and see you, it's just that I feel like it's important for you to feel it. And at this particular moment, I'm not feeling anybody with me. That doesn't mean they're not there. It's just that Spirit has to decide who they want to come through as well. So if it's been recent, I may not, they may not be ready, because they want you to have some time to kind of feel what you got to feel around it. Okay. Tegan, no, I am not able to name your spirit guides. That's kind of, I look at your spirit guides as kind of an intimate relationship between you and your team. And so, honestly, I've never tried. But I think it's important for you to be able to like sit with them and to ask them and to develop that relationship with yourself. I personally, have done that, sat in meditation and just asked like, who are, how many guides are there? Don't be afraid to ask questions. How many guides are there? How many, what are their names, etc., etc. And I feel like that's so much more powerful for you, because I could tell you a bunch of stuff. I can, come up with a bunch of names, but like, you won't necessarily believe it for yourself. So that's why I really believe in empowering people to experience it for themselves. It's part of why I help people develop their intuition, because I want you to feel empowered and powerful to know that like, oh, I do know the answers. I am confident in what I do. And I don't have to rely on going to this psychic or that psychic or whatever, because I actually am able to connect with my own gifts. I can connect to my soul. I can connect to my guides. And so I would really recommend sitting. I know you absolutely have them. And I would say that for some reason, like a fox is coming through. I feel like you definitely have a fox spirit guide. But as far as like developing that relationship, that's really something that you should practice, with them and asking them questions, because it's important for you to also be able to trust you and trust the answers that are coming to you and through you. So, yeah, that's what I say to that. You're welcome. Okay. Let's see here. I don't interpret dreams. But what I will say about dreams is definitely check out like dreammoods.com. It's a great reference to kind of see what dreams are, kind of to take the main kind of points of main subject matter of the dream, and then to kind of interpret what it means. I'm sure there are dream interpreters out there, but I'm not one of them. But there usually is a pretty good, chance that when you look up what it means, there's something like going on in your subconscious that is being revealed in your dreams. So yeah. Here's the thing. It's really important to understand, like, yes, I am intuitive. Yes, I am a psychic medium. Yes, I am an empath. Yes, I channel. And I don't have all the answers to everything. Spirit gives me the information that I'm meant to share, and that's it. Like, I don't get to decide like what I know and what I don't know. And then there's my own personal journey. And that's how it works for all intuitives. Like, every intuitive has gone through their own experiences, their own journey, their own training, their own development, their own understanding. And so I think it's really important to know that, and not expect that every intuitive is going to just know all the answers to all the things in the universe, because we don't. I know a lot about a lot of things, but I don't know everything. So, but thank you for asking, because it is something I can definitely guide you or direct you towards. But I'm not an expert in that particular field. So, Let's see. My youngest son. Okay, I think this is... Okay, my youngest son is going through something. I need insight. I don't know if you're still with me. Let's see. Vague's custom. How old is your son? Are you still here? I just have a few questions for you. Any insight on my youngest son?
I looked at the map. It's right in the center of where it's going to get hit. I'm right on the edge.
I don't know if you're still here. You're here. Oh, good. How old is your son?
Right now?
I feel like it's something, like... He's 4. Yeah, I feel like it's... I was going to say, I feel like he's younger. Like, at first I got teenager, and then I was like, no, not teenager. Like, more like... I got around, like, the age of 6, so... Okay, a little bit even younger. I feel like he's... I feel like it's something intuitive. I feel like he's connecting with spirits, and I think some of it is kind of frightening him a little bit. And so I think a couple of things to do is to... help him understand and know that he's in charge, right? Validate his feelings. Let him know that it's safe. Let him know that he's safe, that he's the boss when it comes to that. And that, that, you know, he gets to say what's okay, right? It's like teaching him consent, but with spirit. Just telling him, like, if he doesn't want to, feel something or see something or experience something, that he can say, no, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to see that. So letting him know that he's in charge. And then I think the other thing is, I feel like he does, I don't know why, but I feel like there's a teenager with him. And I feel like they play together. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but I feel like there's a teenager there with him, and that, like, they play together. But I think sometimes he gets a little scared and little unsure. And so just reassuring him that, like, he's in charge, he's the boss, he knows that he can decide what he wants to do, or if he wants to play with them or not. Yeah, that's kind of what's coming through about that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but 4 and 6. Oh, okay. I was picking up a 6-year-old. He was talking to someone. Yeah, I feel like he's connecting with a spirit, and I feel like that spirit is like a teenager. So that makes sense. Okay, where the 6-year-old came in. So you have 2 sons, 4 and 6. Yeah, I feel like he's very gifted. I feel like he's very intuitive, and I feel like he's picking up on... He gets very scared, but then I thought maybe neurological issues. Yeah, no, I feel like it's intuitive. I mean, I'm not saying don't go to a doctor. Like, don't, you know, if you're really concerned, like, go, you know, seek help, obviously, from a doctor. But I feel like this is something intuitive. I feel like he's picking up with, yeah, I think it's because he's feeling like, I feel like it's kind of frightening him. So helping him, reassure him, letting him know, like, hey, buddy, like, you're in charge. You get to say, you know, and really validating him and letting him talk about it. So, you know, making sure that when you talk about it, it's not in a, like, I'm not saying you would, but just like, for an example, you know, just making sure you're not, like, there's no, like, shaming around it or anything like that, or, you know, saying like, oh, you're crazy, you're anything like that. Just really, like, letting him talk about it and feel safe to talk about it is going to be really important. He's completely withdrawn. We tested him for... Okay, so you've already tested him. Yeah, I feel like this is something more intuitive that he's, like, struggling with a bit.
Well,
One thing I would also do is make sure he's trying some like try giving him some sea salt baths. I know that sounds silly, but it's been so drastic. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I feel like there's this teenager like hanging out with him. And I think like sometimes he's like afraid of him. Ask him if there's a older boy that he sees. Ask him that, and then see if he'll start talking about this older boy. To be open, but it's manifesting physically as well. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. The teenager freaks you out. Yeah, so one thing is to make sure that when you're coming to him, you're not coming from a fearful place, right? Just really being calm, letting him know that he's safe, letting him know that he's in charge, letting him know if he doesn't want to play with that boy, he doesn't have to anymore. Just really reassuring him that like he's in charge. And I feel like, I mean, if you want, I can try talking to him. If you want to set something up, like I could try talking to him for you. Like we could do like a Zoom meeting and just see if he'd be willing to like open up a bit. I mean, I'd be willing to do that if that helps. But well, I would say that, you know, that's kind of what I was wondering is like, I wonder if this, like, I feel like maybe this boy, okay, so here's what I'm feeling. I feel like your son is able to connect with spirits pretty easily. And I feel like this boy like has a message or wants him to like get this message across, but it's just not happening, right? So he's getting like frustrated. And I think that's like really scaring your son because he's just like, I don't know, like, what do you want me to do with this, right? And but that's where it's really important to help him understand that like he gets to decide. Just like I get to decide if I want to do mediumship on these lives, like he gets to decide if he wants to. Like, and it can be a bit taxing because depending how sensitive he is, he can be feeling what this other boy is feeling. So I have a feeling that he's kind of picking up on the things that that this boy had experienced or like is wanting to like share with him, but he's not able to get it out. Yeah. Oh. You wonder if it was a child you lost. How old would he be? How old would the child be? So a child that you lost, like, do you know how long ago that was? I mean, of course you know how long ago that was, but would he be a teenager? That's what I'm wondering. About 10 or 11. Okay, so around that age. I might just be seeing him a little bit older. You could ask him, like, that's something, you know, spirits, when they pass, whether they were babies or, you know, lost through various, you know, ways, they are still in the spirit world and they are still souls, you know, and they can still be with us. So that, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I'm just wondering, like, for your son, I just feel like he doesn't know how to navigate it because he's so little, you know? He doesn't know how to navigate, like, talking to this boy and, like, what to do with him. And I feel like he's feeling a bit bullied by him, you know, kind of. And so I feel like it's what's shutting him down. We'll definitely ask. It could be something or something else. No idea. So. Okay. Yeah, ask him. And like I said, if you want me to give it a shot, I'd be willing to talk to him and see if, if he'd be willing to open up to me. People tend to do that. And so, and I'm good with kids. So when we just started talking, my flame is kind of, oh, well, that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like this boy, this 13-year-old or however old he is trying to get a message across, and he's getting frustrated because, the little guy doesn't know how to share it, and it's kind of this cycle of like shutting down because he doesn't know what this kid wants, right? Because he's just little and he doesn't know how to deal with all this. And then the boy is frustrated because he can't get the message across. So maybe even by, by me connecting with him, I may be able to pick up on what the boy, the 13-year-old wants. And that might help. So there is some kind of energy happening. Yeah. So you can reach out to me, hello@lauriemarie.com, if you decide you want to set something up, and I'd be willing to talk to him, and maybe, I can help get whatever this message is that he needs to share or wants to share. And then a lot of times I feel like then once the message has passed, then they move on, right? It's just like when I'm doing mediumship, if someone comes through, I can feel the pain and how they died and things like that. And then once the message has been given, I no longer feel that. So I have a feeling that once this, kid, whoever he is able to get his message across, then he'd move on and leave your, little guy alone. And I'm sorry, that's got to be scary for him. So, it couldn't hurt. All we do is have a conversation over Zoom, and and see if that helps. Yeah. Well, I hope that helps. Please be sure to reach out. Okay. Oh, we're almost at time. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting being a parent, navigating your child being able to connect to spirit, and especially if you don't know how to do it for yourself. So, I understand how that could feel scary, but know that it can and will. This too shall pass. Okay. Let's see. I have seen a spirit. I know I will never. Oh. I have seen a spirit. I know will I ever see again. I think I'm trying to. Okay, I have seen a spirit. I know will I ever see it. I'm not really sure what you mean. If I'm understanding the question, I think what you're saying is I've seen a spirit, will I ever see them again? I'm going to go with that. And if it's different, then please, please reframe the question. It depends. It depends if spirit wants to come through. Oh, okay. Thank you. I have seen 3 people in spirit I know. Oh, gotcha. Will you see them again? Yeah, so a lot of times the people we know and love are with us, and they are connecting with us. But then I think there's times where they kind of feel like it's time, for you to continue your life and not be, Here's the thing. Anytime anybody passes, they want you to be happy. They want you to keep living. That's the whole point. They don't want you forever feeling, their loss and grief. And yes, there's a time for that. And yes, there's a place for that. And yes, it will wash over you. And yes, it'll come up from time to time. But They don't want you to stop living. That's the point. So it's important for you to continue living, to know and to trust that they're with you, and just notice the different ways that they show up, right? Like, you know, is it in a song? Is it through, you know, certain animals that pop up? Like, is it in a shape? Like, I personally know that my grandmother's with me all the time because I see hearts everywhere. Like, I see it in my soup. I see it on an oil spill. I see it, you know, random rocks in the shape of hearts. Like, I see hearts in the clouds, like, everywhere. And I know that's just my grandma saying, like, hey, girl, I see you. I'm with you. So know that even if you don't, like, physically see them, or maybe even feel them from time to time, right? Because you get busy with life, you're doing your thing, whatever. Know that they're still with you and they're still trying to connect with you. So I don't think it's that you'll never see them again. I just think that they may be connecting with you in different ways. So I hope that was helpful. From any questions? If I didn't get to your question, be sure to put it in. Be sure to put it in the Q&A box on my feed, my grid. What do you call it on TikTok? I don't know. Your feed, your grid, the main page. My God, I sound really old. What do you call that thing? Okay, let's see. Trying to remember which. If I answered your question already, I'm going to answer someone who didn't get to go yet. So be sure to come back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Central, and ask your new question. Let's see. I'll say this one real quick since it's coming up. Mars, for some reason, as soon as I came across that question, I heard the number 7. So I'm going to go with 7. And yeah, I feel like you have one owl as a guide. And then I feel like the rest are either like loved ones who have passed or like different spirits, angels, ascending masters, things like that. But yeah, 7 is what came to mind. Oh, that's funny. And I just saw that you had a 7 in your user handle. Ha! Well, just know that number is relevant for you. Okay, let's see here. Okay, Doctor. Is there a romantic future even when he lives far away? Anything is possible if you want to put the work into it. And I feel like I definitely feel like there's a chemistry there. I feel like there's an excitement there. I feel like butterflies. It makes me want to giggle. And I feel like, you know, if you both truly feel like you're compatible and that you're a good fit for one another and that there's an actual partnership here, like, you'll find a way. You'll figure it out. I know many, many couples that that make long distance work and that have made long distance work. So I think, you know, it's funny, like, I lived in LA for a year and I noticed that people would base their dating radius around how close it was to their house. Now I get that, you know, when you're driving in LA, like, there's a long distance, right, to travel. It's a lot of time. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, but it's love. Like, what wouldn't you do for love? And so I posed that question to you to say, like, you know, if it feels like it's a yes for you, like, you'll make it work and you'll find a way because it's love. So I hope that was helpful. I think there's a future if you choose it. If you don't want to, bother, you feel like, oh, it's too much work, then you won't. But then that tells me you're not really wanting it. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, you're young and feel, yeah, I get that. I guess you have to decide what you want more, right? Like, do you want the freedom of exploring being single, or do you want to be in partnership, right? Kind of like I said earlier, like, do you want to go quick in the journey, or do you want it to be a long road? I feel like, here's the thing too. I feel like, who's to say you can't do both, right? Who's to say you can't get to know each other, develop the relationship over time, and like when you feel like this is a good time, you can do that. Here's the other piece to that though. As humans, we feel like we have forever, right? We feel like, oh, I've got so much time. I've got my whole life to live. And yes, that's true. But we never know when that journey ends for us. We all take different journeys and have different times that we come in and out. And the truth is we don't live forever. So, and the journey does happen quickly, right? And I don't say that to be like a Debbie Downer or to kind of, to like be morbid, but, there's a reason people say like life is short. And so I think it's really important to get clear on your desires and your intentions and what you really want for yourself. What are your values? What are your, what are your aspirations? And what does that look like? Does that look like, you being you? Or does that look like, you being you on your own? Or does that look like being in partnership? And exploring what that looks like. Financial guidance. Thank you. Oh, okay. I am committed even with distance, but I don't want to impose that on him. It's not imposing. It's just being direct. This is it's being vulnerable, right? Which is actually very endearing when it comes from the heart. It's a strength, not a weakness. And then it's being very clear with your intentions gives the other person an opportunity to be clear with their intentions too. And then And yes, it is a risk, and it is a courageous act to say like, this is how I feel. Like, I adore you. I really see this being something, and I would like to explore what that looks like. Those are my intentions. And then see what, his intentions are. And you'll know right away if, you're in alignment there. Because either way, you're both two souls on individual journeys. And you can decide if you want to do those journeys side by side or do them apart. And so being clear and being very direct with what you want and what you desire is actually refreshing. So many people don't know how to be that. They play games and they manipulate and they do all these things and play all these games and do all this like run around. And like, so to be direct, to be clear, not only for yourself, but for them, whew, it's going to make them melt. You won't know what to do. Like what? A girl that actually knows what she wants? A person who actually can say what they need and what they desire and what they're committed to? Awesome, brilliant, right? And then hopefully he'll meet you the same. And if he doesn't, that's a sign right there that maybe this person isn't exactly like, at the same place that I'm, on my same level at this point. So I think being direct is going to be really good. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Because I have a feeling he wants the same. So. And you'll figure out the distance. You can make it fun. Thanks, honey. Okay, I'm going to take one more. Okay. let's see. I think this one's been in here for a while. Hopefully she's still here. Okay. Boo Bear says, I zone out. Is it mediumship, astral, or something? Okay. So, I'm curious what you mean by zoning out. So, when you're... Oh, thank you. Thank you, Anne. So, zoning out. It could be a couple things. You could be daydreaming. One of the things when it's mediumship, you'll feel the presence of a spirit. So for me, for example, I feel a lot of times I'll feel a cold chill like along my back. I'll also feel my heart start racing faster. That's a sign that spirits come close. I'll also maybe start hearing words or seeing visuals. And so it's definitely not a zoning out. It's more of a tuning in. It's more of a getting very present and very, very present, I guess you could say. And then, so with mediumship, it's definitely more of a presence. Astral projecting, I've only done that in my sleep, so, or like in meditation, sleep or meditation. So, for that, I wouldn't say that's like a zoning out either. I feel like that's more of a allowing. There too, I've done it in like doing mediumship too, which again requires you to be present. And so for anyone who's wondering, astral projection is like where you can kind of see a place or go to a specific area in your mind. So for example, sometimes I'll pick up on like somebody's grandmother and I can see exactly what their like layout of their house was and like where she baked cookies or muffins or whatever, right? So it's like I've never actually been to that house, but I can like project or go looking for that particular like layout or that time period. So I wouldn't say that's zoning out either. Zoning out, I feel like it could be daydreaming. I feel like it could be psychic work. That's not really like a zoning out, but you are like perceiving information. You're going out and looking for the information. Versus mediumship, you're receiving the information. So you're allowing it to come through you. So there's a difference there. So just start to notice, like, when you say you're zoning out, what does that look like? What does that feel like? What are you noticing? And then that will help you get clear on what's actually going on. And it would help me get clear on what's going on for you too. If I know kind of what you're experiencing or feeling. So I hope that helped though. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Ladies, gentlemen, everyone. If I didn't get to your question, please put it in the Q&A on the normal feed or whatever it is, and I'll answer with a video. Otherwise, come on back tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Central Time, and I'll answer as many as I can get to. Once people start coming in, they come fast. So if you get in here right away and you start asking right away, I can get to them right away. But what's been happening, it's interesting, it takes a little bit for people to come in, and then all of a sudden it's just like boom, like a whole stream of questions. And then it's a matter of like trying to get to them all. So if I didn't get to you, know that I'm sending you love. I will answer your question. Just come on back or put it in the chat and I'll get to it as I can. So